The 7 last words, or 7 last sayings, are 7 statements attributed to Jesus from the cross, drawn from all 4 Gospels. The devotional focus on the 7 last words became prominent in the late medieval church. The spiritual practice is a liturgical act, not a historical reconstruction, which allows us to contemplate, reflect, and ultimately be changed in the process. Through this practice, you will see that the cross is not the silence of God, but it is where love speaks. I invite you to find a quiet place to reflect, meditate, and pray while I read the 4th saying 3 times. My God, why have you forsaken me? My God, why have you forsaken me? My God, why have you forsaken me? In Mark 15, the gospel writer uses Aramaic, the language that Jesus and his disciples spoke, to emphasize these last words of Jesus. Eloi, Eloi, lama sabachthani, or my God, why have you forsaken me? It is in these words that Jesus becomes the most fully human, crying out to God, asking where God is as he hangs on the cross. He uses words from Psalm 22, the psalm we hear on Maundy, Thursday as we strip the altar, the words of the psalm that the Jews would have recognized. It was the psalm of messianic prophecy, a psalm of lament written by King David, which vividly foreshadows Jesus' crucifixion. Jesus says these words not only to identify himself as the Messiah, but to also share in the suffering of human beings. We can identify with this cry, something we either say or think in the depths of our souls every time we are in the midst of suffering, feeling that God is far away, abandoned us, forsaken us. For Jesus could not fully identify with human beings, with the human condition, without feeling abandoned by God. As Jesus is on the cross crying out, "Why have you forsaken me?" he embodies what it means to be human. And he also uses the words of a psalm where we are reminded of God's final victory and triumph over evil. In these words, Jesus shows us that there is no part of humanity he has not experienced, which brings God closer to us rather than further away. In feeling forsaken, Jesus shows us just how much God understands us and does not abandon or forsake us. This is the 4th word of Jesus' last words.